When I was about 12, I saw him on the Geraldo show, him and all these crazy club kids, and they were stars for no reason. I mean, they all had their own special thing about them, but they talked about what they did, about these parties they did, and all this fun they had, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's what I want to do.
No, please. Do you do ketamine on the couch?
Do it. Ugh, you're an idiot.
Kids, what has this world come to? It's come to a world where drag kids actually exist.
And people do ketamine on a couch. Did you not just do that? What? Oh my god, who am I sitting next to?
What? I watched documentaries for kids about not doing drugs.
I bet you did. I bet you did.
Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's me, your boy LP, and this video is going to be a bit of an addendum to my last episode of You Can't Stop Progress. There was a clip in there which on the surface might be a little bit unsettling, but in order to really appreciate how dark it is, you need to know some of the wider context of what's going on in this clip. So what do we got here? Well, we got this drag kid in the middle. His name's Desmond is Amazing. If you don't know him by face, you probably know him by name. He has been all over the media lately with features in Vice Magazine, Huffington Post, Mike.com, as well as a photo shoot in Vogue, which is about as mainstream as you can get. And he was like the spokesperson for a major pride parade. I can't remember if it was Los Angeles or New York City, but it was a big one. He's won some awards and he's just been plastered all over the place. And now he's flanked by these two old used up queer dudes sitting on this couch, and they're in front of a painting where you can see the feet of a girl skipping rope and the word rohypnol. And Desmond in this video seems a little bit out of it. His eyes are kind of droopy. He seems low energy. And that's basically what you got on the surface. And that's enough to maybe be a little bit unsettling. That's enough for you to say, I don't know exactly what's going on here, but I'm not sure that I'm okay with it. But like I said, it gets deeper because what you may not know is this guy to Desmond's right is Michael Alig. Now, Michael Alig was made famous in the 90s when he was portrayed by Macaulay Culkin in a film called Party Monster. That's right. This guy is the Party Monster. Now, if you've seen that movie, you know how fucked up this is. If you haven't, let me fill you in. Michael was a club kid in the late 80s, early 90s. He got hooked on drugs. His life spiraled out of control. He ended up living in sort of a flop house with a bunch of other party kids, and including his drug dealer that he had move in. He got indebted to his drug dealer for thousands of dollars, and one day his drug dealer got sick of being put off and came to collect. Michael and another one of the roommates, a guy who they called Freeze, murdered the drug dealer who went by the name Angel. So what they did was they bashed him over the head with a hammer a few times, put a pillow over his face to suffocate him. And then this part's a little bit contentious, but according to Freeze, Michael filled up a syringe with Drano and injected Drano into Angel's veins, as well as shot Drano into his mouth and then duct taped his mouth shut. Michael denies that, says it's a dramatization, but personally I'm inclined to believe Freeze because first of all, why would you make that up? Second of all, Michael just seems completely psychopathic with no boundaries. If you want to get a better sense of the guy, you can watch the documentary, which is called Party Monster, a shockumentary, and they talk about the kind of guy Michael was. For example, he peed on people from the upper level of parties because he thought that was a funny prank. He would pee in bottles and give it to people and tell them it was Gatorade so they would drink it. He would spike people's drinks with drugs all the time just to fuck around. And one of the guys who knew him wrote an article saying that he also pimped out underage kids to his rich friends. So pretty much a fucked up dude, but I can understand why he would deny injecting Drano into Angel because let's face it, that's a whole orders of magnitude just more fucked up. I mean, that's just a whole nother level. But anyway, enough about the Drano. They didn't know what to do with the body, so they put it in their bathtub with some ice. After a few days, it really started to stink, and so Michael said they had to deal with it. He offered to deal with it if Freeze would give him 10 bags of heroin. Freeze did, and exchange exchange for the 10 bags of heroin, Michael chopped up Angel's body, put it into a box, and dumped it in the Hudson River. A couple weeks went by and he thought he got away with it, and he started bragging to all his friends about how he had murdered Angel. Everybody thought he was just talking shit because that's the kind of guy he was. But eventually the box washed up. They found the body. They issued a warrant for his arrest, and he fled the city trying to escape justice, but they caught him. He took a plea for manslaughter and got out after 17 years. So if you didn't already have reason to question the parenting choices that Desmond's mother is making, now you can add that to the pile of questionable decisions that her kid is hanging out with this dude. So as somebody who has my own kid, I was asking myself, why would you do this? Why would you expose your child to this level of danger? And you might think, well, obviously for just like money and fame and exposure, but I looked into this a little bit and I've come to a different conclusion. I have a bit of a theory. I can't prove it, of course. I'm just speculating here. I'm just spitballing, but I want to make my case, which is that Desmond's mother, who goes by Wendy Lou, which is another Dr. Seuss fucking name, by the way, at some point she must have developed a hybistrophilic attraction towards Michael Alig. That attraction probably drove her further interests in drag, because there's a RuPaul connection here that we're going to get to. And then she imbued that interest into her son, Desmond, who also started to idolize Michael to some degree or want to emulate him. And I'm sure Desmond has seen the movie Party Monster. That's part of the case I'm going to make. Now you're asking yourself, this sounds like a stretch. How could I prove any of this? Well, just wait. I'm going to make the case and you're going to be blown away by my deductive reasoning. But before I get to it, there are just two more things I want to show you that aren't really related to the case, but are just really fucked up and I want you to be aware of. The first is that painting hanging over the couch, the one with the skipping girl, which says Rohypnol. And in case you don't know, Rohypnol is the date rape drug. It's something that they roofie people with to make them complacent so that you can molest them, rape them, whatever, and they don't remember what happened to them afterwards. Michael Alig painted that. He sells prints of his paintings starting at $500, and I'm just showing you a few more pieces of his work so you can get a little bit more insight into this guy's mind and maybe understand why I'm inclined to believe that he probably injected Drano into his roommate's veins. The second fucked up thing that I want you to be aware of when you think about people letting their kids hang around this dude is that this is one of the opening scenes from the film Party Monster.
Let's see. What else? Oh, once when I was 10, my Sunday school teacher took me back to his house. He taught me how to French kiss, among other things.
He really took my boy under his wing. Very nice man.
His mother caught us in the basement, and she screamed, "I told you not to bring them here." And he said, "Don't, you'll frighten them away."
So Michael Alig, at least according to the film, was sexually molested when he was 10 years old. I think that's worth being aware of because if you know anything about child sex predators, they tend to have been preyed upon when they were children. It's a whole cycle of abuse thing. So the fact that that appears to have happened to him just means he's that much more of a red flag, that much more of a risk, and someone that shouldn't be within 100 feet of kids. Now, as for my conspiracy theory that Wendy Lou has a hybistrophilic obsession with Michael Alig, I have a bunch of evidence here. I'm not sure exactly how to present it to you, so this might be a little bit jumbled. I apologize for that. The first thing I'm going to show you is the evidence to support my earlier claim that Desmond has seen the film Party Monsters, and it has to do with one of those clips I played at the very start of the video where Desmond seems to imitate doing a bump of Special K off of that space between your thumb and your forefinger, just like real drug dealers do.
No, please.
Do you do ketamine on the couch?
Do it. Ugh, you're an idiot.
Kid, what has this world come to? It's come to a world where drag kids actually exist.
And people do ketamine on a couch. Did you not just do that? What? Oh my god, who am I sitting next to?
What? I watched documentaries for kids about not doing drugs.
I bet you did. I bet you did.
How would a 10-year-old kid know this? I didn't even know what ketamine was when I was 10 years old, much less how it was done. Seems a little bit strange, doesn't it? And then last night I was doing my research. I watched the shockumentary. I rewatched Party Monsters because it's been so long since I've seen it. I wanted to refresh my memory. And I saw this scene, which I found pretty interesting.
What do you do?
I don't do. I just am. Extremely rich. Anyway, if I'm to stay in this roach motel a moment longer, we're gonna need to take things up a notch.
I don't do drugs.
Nor do I. Did you see that? It just flew right up my nose.
My mother says drugs are for losers.
She's so right. The ketamine hydrochloride, aka Special K, is mainly used by vets as an animal tranquilizer. When taken by humans, it works as a dissociative drug, selectively reducing excitation in the central mammalian neurons by N-methylaspirin. In other words, it fucks you up.
I don't know. I just found that a kind of interesting coincidence. Now, here's something else I find interesting, okay? This is a Instagram account called Official Club Kids and More, and they posted an old picture of Michael Alig on August 5th. So this is literally like 10 days ago this was posted. And there's a comment here from Desmond is Amazing, which says, "This is one of my favorite photos of Michael," and then 2 heart emojis. Now I'll click on this to show you that this is the real account, verified, 83,000 followers. And here, right here, it says account owned by mom. He's also got professional management, by the way, but this is the really interesting part. Account owned by mom. So can we safely assume that it's Desmond's mom who is posting to this account? And is it Desmond's mom that left this comment? I mean, I'm not sure which is more disturbing. Either the 10-year-old kid has favorite photos of a convicted killer, or the mom does. And I think it's the mom who posted this, personally. I can't prove it again, but it just makes sense considering she runs the account. And see the hearts here. I mean, this supports my whole hibistrophilia theory that I'm throwing at you. And by the way, I don't know if I've explained what hibistrophilia is yet, but it's when you get turned on by somebody doing something completely vile, like killing or serial killing or pedophilia. And it's very common in women, and it's almost exclusive to women, almost. So we don't know exactly. So I don't know exactly when Desmond's mom started her obsession with Michael, if it was when the movie came out or maybe something else. I am going to show you something else kind of interesting, although it won't really answer the question. But this is basically my theory, is that Wendy Lou, at some point developed a hibistophilic obsession with Michael Alig, the murderer, and then sort of instilled that into her son. And I'll show you a few more bits of evidence to support that. In fact, get this bookmark here. One of these, yeah, this one, this Instagram photo here was posted to Desmond's account on Christmas, and it's him with a book called Club Kids. So that's obviously pictures of the club kids, Michael Alig and the gang. They're talking all about their history and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, how would a 10-year-old kid even know about this stuff down 15 years before he was born? Though it has to be given to him by someone, and we have even more evidence to support that it was instilled in him, and I'll show you that now.
Okay, so where does your fashion sense come from?
My fashion sense comes from colorfulness, club kids, blitz kids.
Who's like your favorite club kid?
Michael Alig and James St. James.
Michael Alig and Jane St. James. So sit back so I can ask you some more questions. So when was the first time that you ever did drag?
When I was 2 years old, when I watched the first episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, honey.
2 years old, first episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. Me tongue pops better than me.
So at 2 years old, Desmond watched RuPaul's Drag Race. Now, I don't know if you've ever watched a 2-year-old, but they don't have a whole lot of autonomy. And this is the thing that gets me. It's like, if you're going to put on something for a 2-year-old to watch, normally you're going to pick something like My Little Pony or Strawberry Shortcake, something made for kids. If you're watching RuPaul's Drag Race with your 2-year-old, 2-year-old, it's probably because you, the adult, wanted to watch RuPaul's Drag Race. You know what I'm saying? If I was watching Better Call Saul with my 2-year-old, it's because I wanted to watch Better Call Saul. It's not because I thought my 2-year-old would be into it. You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm doing a lot of reaching in this video, but I think you guys can give me this one. I think we can conclude that Wendy Lou has a personal interest in RuPaul's Drag Race. And even just that is kind of telling, because if you ever read the interviews that Wendy Lou has done, she always claims that all of this came from Desmond. They didn't influence him at all. He just came out the womb absolutely fabulous and into drag. And it's like, well, that's awfully convenient if that's true, but you also happen to be really into drag and costume design and makeup and stuff like that. It's kind of a funny coincidence, I guess. But now again, look who's back. It's Michael Alig. This is a picture of RuPaul and Michael Alig together in the past. RuPaul was one of the club kids that came up around the same time in New York City with Michael. You can even find videos of them back in the day together on YouTube. Like, there was this little intimate birthday party of RuPaul's in some New York apartment with less than 10 people, and Michael Alig was there. So he was close enough to RuPaul that he'd get invited to her intimate birthday party. And also RuPaul is mentioned as one of Michael's club kids on Michael's Wikipedia page. So I just think it's really interesting how all roads lead back to Michael Alig. And if my theory is correct and Wendy Lou had like this hibistrophilic obsession with Michael Alig, that could explain how she got into RuPaul, because she would start exploring his life and the lives of the people who surrounded him, consuming everything she could because of her obsession. So that's pretty much my case. I realize it's very flimsy, but I thought it was interesting enough, whether it's true or not, to put together a video and show this to you guys. Also, I do have one last thing I want to show you, re my case, and it's a clip from the actual interview itself with Michael and Desmond. Now, this is a very awkward clip, and by the way, I've watched a few of the videos on Michael's YouTube channel, and they're all like this. They're all awkward and kind of sad and desperate, and it's not surprising that his channel hasn't grown that much, because he's been doing this like since he got out of jail. He's got hundreds of videos on there and only managed to put together 9,000 subs so far. But you'll see in this clip, Michael starts to bring up the story of how they were able to like secure this interview with Desmond. And the start of the story has to do with Desmond asking Wendy Lou to show him a older picture of her. Now, unfortunately, we don't get to actually hear what that picture was or how it led to the interview with Michael Alig, because this other dude here, Ernesto or Emilio or whatever the fuck his name is, this dude's obviously maintained a semblance of cognitive function, even though he's clearly used a few recreational chemicals in his day. You can tell just by looking at him. But he kind of swoops in and definitely intercepts whatever bean it was that Desmond was about to spill. But again, I'm just speculating here, but could it be that the photo that Wendy Lou showed Desmond of herself back in the day had some kind of connection to Michael Alig? Maybe Wendy Lou was like a club kid herself. Maybe she was with some of Michael's friends. I mean, we don't know, again, because this Ernesto guy clearly doesn't want us to know what this story is. But if it was something along those lines, it would make sense, because Michael is a narcissist, and narcissists have a real knack for directing the conversation towards things that make them seem good. So if the story involved Wendy Lou having some kind of admiration for Michael, it would make sense that the narcissist would want to direct the conversation in that way. Anyway, I'm going to play the clip for you now, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, you told your mom, you asked your mom to get you a picture of RuPaul, didn't you? You wanted to see what she looked like when she was younger.
Mm-hmm. That was like a few months ago.
And a few months later, this is what happens. So she showed you a picture from Nelson. It was a picture from Nelson.
Where do you get your clothes?
My mom's friend gave this to me, and this
Intercepted. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. It was intercepted.
All right, so that's basically the video. I will say Wendy Lou is not the only potential hibistrophile we're dealing with here, which is usually the case. Usually whenever people do these terrible things, they have like tons of women coming after them. That Nicholas Cruz kid, the Parkland shooter who murdered 13 of his fellow students, has received dozens or hundreds of love letters. You know, I first heard about hibistrophilia when I I was living in Montreal, and a guy who lived in my neighborhood, who I think his name was Luke Magnotta or something like that, he like killed his roommate and ate it and put it on film, and he was a really weird looking dude. Like he'd had tons and tons of plastic surgery, and I remember hearing that all these women were sending him love letters, and that was when I first became aware of this incredibly disturbing phenomena that will make you lose faith in at least half the world's population, if not all of it. But if you go on the videos on Michael's channel, particularly the videos with Desmond are telling, but in the comment sections you'll see these women, they always have female names, these YouTube accounts. And they're like, oh, I love you so much, Michael. Oh, Michael's a beautiful soul, you know, stuff like that. It's like, what the fuck? Like, they know what he did. How can they say this? And on the Desmond videos particularly, because you have people there commenting like, why is this kid hanging around this dude? This is fucked up. And I think that's a fair observation to make. And then you'll have these women who are like, oh, he's served his time. He's paid his debt to society. Leave Michael alone. He didn't do nothing, you know? But I'm not feeling that. I think it's a totally fair question to ask. That's why I made this video, to ask that question. Why is this kid hanging around this dude? And here's some parting food for thought. The interview with Desmond was recorded in December 2017. Back in February of 2017, Michael Alig was arrested for smoking crystal meth and trespassing in the Bronx Park. You know, I'm no big city judge, but I kind of feel like if you go to jail for murder and you blamed the murder on your drug use and then you get caught smoking crystal meth, I feel like you should go back to jail. But I don't know. That's just me. Anyway, as you can see, this happened months before the interview, so you really got to wonder what's going on in Wendy Lou's head that she would think it's okay for her kid to be around this guy. So, and this is a thing that's still going on. It's a situation we're going to watch unfold in real time, and it's not going to end well. They actually uploaded a video just a week ago titled, "What's Next When You're Amazing at 10?" And the video is them sitting outside talking about Desmond is amazing, maybe hoping that Wendy will see that and arrange for a chance for them to, you know, bite off some more of Desmond's shine. But it's just creepy. It's just creepy seeing these two dudes upload a video talking about a 10-year-old kid, and especially because Michael is completely whacked out on drugs. I'm just going to give you a little tiny sample here so you can see that I'm not exaggerating. This dude is high as fuck in this video.
Welcome to the pew. The pew. Doodly doo. Pew pew for me, pew pew for you.
And pew pew for Desmond, who's amazing.
Well, he gets more than pew pew. He gets pew 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 pew. Welcome back to the pew doo doo.
Doo 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 doo.
Doo 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 doo.
So people's tongues are wagging over. Get this, and believe it or not, Ripley's, believe it or not, fired all the club kids that work there. I didn't know club kids worked there.
Oh, lots of them.
I don't believe it.
Well, or not.
So yeah, I just kind of have a bad feeling because you got to keep in mind this dude, when he became like famous and popular, it was in a different era when you dealt with people face to face and they were sort of constrained by social conventions like politeness. Now he's out here on YouTube where people are more than happy to tell you what an absolute worthless piece of shit you are every day. And I'm not sure if that's the best environment for a strung out narcissistic old junkie faggot. So I don't know, man. I don't think this is going to end well, you guys. But that's all I got for today's video. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Do you think I'm reaching too much? Did I miss anything? Are you disturbed? Am I overreacting? Let me know what you think, and thanks for watching. Until next time, appreciate y'all. I'm going to try that out as a new sign off instead of catch you on the flip side. Peace out. After that video and Can't Stop Progress where that black dude got the ticket, he's like, appreciate y'all. You got to black it up. You can't be like, I appreciate you all. No, you gotta appreciate y'all. All right? Appreciate y'all.
That boy needs therapy. Granny Gazoo, let's have a chew. Now when I count three. That boy needs therapy.
Drown my sorrow, no tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kind of funny, find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I It's a very, very mad world. Mad world.
Nice. This one is for you.
Nice tits, bro. Thanks. Thanks.